Welcome to the Elite Sales Accelerator. You did it. You joined a community that's going to transform your life and your career, if I have anything to do with it. I'm so thankful and so grateful that you are here. I am humbled by you joining this community, and I know that it will do amazing things for you. I know that it's going to get you to 150% in 26 weeks, just 6 months, half a year, and you can maybe even 2x or 3x or 5x your success and your income. That's why you're here, right? So let's get into it. I have set this start here section up purposely. And that is exactly why you clicked start here. Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. Below this video, there are two versions of a document that will be super helpful for you to have before you start. Something that's going to help you be in the right mindset, something that's going to help you understand who you are, right? Who I am. And when I first wrote this, I wrote it, who am I? Like a question mark. And going through it, I started making statements about myself and started developing even more content for the courses, things I have to add, because when we approach something with a definitive statement, when we say, this is who I am, it changes your perception. It turns the dials in the way your mind thinks about it. So that's why I named it Who I Am Framework. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward stuff. If you get stuck, if your brain isn't in this space right this second, it's not something you have to do right now. If these are the things you want to gain from this course, you will. But I still want to challenge you to complete this. Do your best and fill out what you think, what you want, what you can right now, and you can compare this in the end to what you come up with. Great comparison, great way to reflect and observe perceived value versus real value. What are you thinking right now, and what did the course actually do for you? How has your mind frame shifted? How have you changed what you think about yourself and these things? So I'll run through it quick. 1 to 3 sentences. Don't think because it's too short that it's bad. If you're a person that can make things very concise, that's perfectly okay. So 1 to 3 sentence is okay. If you are long-winded and you are very confident and think very highly of yourself and want to use a whole bunch of verbs, then go ahead. This is about you and who you are and who you see yourself as. What do you believe is true about you? If you are stuck, morals and values are good mind joggers. What's your mission? What motivates you? What do you want to do for the world? What's your purpose? What drives you to complete your mission? What is your why or your WIFM? What's in it for me? Hopefully, some of you have heard WIFM before. If not, I would be happy to be the first to introduce you to it. What are your mission and purpose going to do for you or the world? Your how. Nothing happens if you don't have something to hold yourself accountable to. What do you need to hold yourself accountable to reach the level of success that you want? Or maybe take the compare and contrast approach that I just mentioned to this how section. What are you currently holding yourself accountable to? If that's blank, then you are going to take monumental things from this community. And your growth statement. You may or may not heard of a growth statement. You may have heard it called something else, but I call it a growth statement. One of mine is if you're not growing, you're dying. Plain and simple. If you're not growing, you're dying. It's true about life. If I don't hold myself accountable to growing every day, if I don't have something that I focus on without distraction every single day, something that I want to get better about myself, I'm just living each day. And each day I'm getting a little closer to meeting my maker. If I'm not growing, I'm dying. So, what do you tell yourself repeatedly, or what could you tell yourself to master something you want to get better at? It's perfectly fine, again, with every one of these sections. If you want to fill this out as you go, share it in the community once you have yours complete. Maybe that's week one, maybe that's week six, maybe it's week 26. I don't know. These are some of the things that you will develop and have clarity around once you get through 26 weeks without question. I will share mine quick just to maybe spark a little mojo. So I am a husband and father first, a leader and a coach always, and a little bit of a goofball. I am genuine, honest, and energetic with a passion for helping people grow and learn. I value family, honesty, integrity, humility, and fearlessness. My mission is to spark passion in people and help them find their purpose. That came to me driving about 15 years ago. I managed multiple retail stores. I think at that time I had about 25 down in Oklahoma, Dallas, and Western Arkansas, and I was driving along. That's what was something you will learn about me is I take notes about everything when I have a thought. Maybe that's another nugget you will take from this learning or even this very first video. If you think about something and don't write it down, what's the likelihood you're going to remember? You might have the mind of an elephant and you never forget, or the mind of a steel trap if you like that one better. But I wrote this down 15 years ago and it hasn't changed because I just felt for me it was that good. My purpose is to provide more than I need. No, it's not because I'm greedy. Maybe just a little bit. Only when it comes to money. Share generously and create a legacy that lives eternally. So I'll say that again. Provide more than I need, share generously, and create a legacy that lives eternally. My why is the past cannot be changed. Fate is what you make it. And what you put into anything and everything is exactly what you get back. My how, I always remember that the universe is 100% mental, driven by thought and gratitude. The physical world is exactly that, physical. I use my tools from my tool belt to maintain structure. Three of the biggest things that I stay focused on is to plan, prioritize, and think proactively. This is something that I derived from Stephen R. Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Great book if you haven't read it. I'm not here to recommend books, but it's one of the books that did great things for me when I was a young sales leader. So plan, everything goes on a calendar. You can block out 15-minute sections of your calendar. That's okay. We'll get more into that in our weekly courses. Take note of every important thought when you have it, or I take note of every important thought when I have it. When I have it is important. Don't do anything crazy and take notes when you're driving unless you've got technology and you can push a button and be safe while doing so. But your thoughts change every single second, and you don't want to lose something that could be life changing or could change someone else's life. Prioritize. I organize everything by important and urgent, urgent, important, not urgent, or important. Some of you know this as the Eisenhower matrix. Some of you know it as other things. You may or may not have been exposed to this. Most of the time, you see it in a plus sign graph. Let me get straight. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Like a plus sign graph where you can fill up the boxes with the things that are on your plate. We will take a look at that during our course also. Or if you choose to upgrade to a one-on-one relationship, then I would be happy to go over that in detail with you as well. Think proactively. So because I plan and prioritize, I can be proactive. I know what I need to do. I have things planned and I know what is going to happen. When unexpected things happen, I make a note. I prioritize and I adjust the plan if necessary. That's why these three things, plan, prioritize, and think proactively, have been so important to me. Once I learned them, I made them my mantra. This was what I practiced. This is what my growth statement was for many, many months. Plan, prioritize, and think proactively. Focus. I might maintain broke. I maintain focus through breathing, visualization, and remembering my purpose. I replace negative thoughts and feelings with mentally equal positive thoughts and feelings. When these things don't work, I take a brain break. Everyone does brain breaks a little bit different. I'm not a scroller. I would prefer to go outside and take a walk. I take my dog for a walk. I go get a healthy snack. I go listen to the radio for a few minutes. I just clear my mind because I know if I stay and try to push myself when my mind is in an unfocused state, I'm not going to be as productive as I would be if I walk away for a few minutes and I come back and continue. You will learn the same in this community and through these courses. My growth statements, if you're not growing, you're dying. You will hear me accidentally say that on purpose often. Get used to it, wrap your head around it. If you don't understand it, then I will explain it multiple times. No worries. My current growth statement is my mind is a center of divine operation. That is a very long, deep explanation from a path of growth and learning that I have started in the last month. And it's one of the most incredible experiences of my life. When we get into this course further, you will understand it more and more. And then my constant growth statement is thank you. Too many people don't say thank you enough. Those two words mean so much. They can change a person's day. They can show appreciation. Gratitude is one of the things that drives the universe, being thankful. So I try to say thank you as often as I possibly can. If you spend enough time around me, you might even start to think I say it too much, but that's because deep down in my heart, I truly appreciate every single little thing I get from everyone. And if you're genuine and engaged, you can always benefit from everyone. And this one is near and dear to my heart and something that I also always think about. It was part of a training program that I used to use with salespeople. And we used to even practice. So smiles are contagious. One of the deepest seated memories of my son is when we were driving down the road. He was 12 years old and he looked over at me. We hadn't been talking, we were just listening to the radio and driving in the car. And he looked over at me and he says, Dad, you know what I love about you? I said, What, buddy? He said, I love that you always smile. No matter what, you're always smiling. And that just really sank in. So smile practice. This one's fun. So I had a sales rep once upon a time that always had a straight face and always had a look on their face as though they were upset or angry. Yes, there are inappropriate names out there for this exact thing I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But this person had that about them. It was just who they were, and not who they were, the stuff you can't change, but who they were, the stuff you can change. So I was sitting at a stoplight one day, and I looked over at the car next to me, and I saw someone with a similar look, just a frown, not generally smiling person. And I looked at him, and I went, and you know what happened? They actually looked back and cracked a smile. And that is how smiling practice started. I would challenge my sales reps while they were pulling up to stoplights, if they weren't remembering to smile regularly, to turn at the person they parked next to and just give them a fun, goofy smile, just to see if it was worth getting the smile back, just to prove how contagious smiles really are. So that is the homework piece. That is what you need to do before week one. You also need something for notes. I love yellow notepads, legal pads. I also use Google Keep for digital notes. So I can always be taking notes. So right up here, Google Keep, you can get to it through your Gmail. It's a fantastic tool. You can have it on your computer, open as a tab. You can have it on your phone, open as a tab. If you don't have a way to take digital notes, I also ask that you download Google Keep or have your WordPad ready and available or your notepad on your phone. I take paper notes, I take digital notes. Everything should be written down. Another one of my mantras, if it's not written down, it never happened. That will get you to week one. We have the calendar is at the top. Let me share my screen. In school, so the calendar is right here at the top. We have a 3 p.m. accelerator group call every Thursday, and we have a 3 p.m. role play call every Tuesday. Those are going to multiply the benefit of this course. Do your very best to be on the live calls. We will have live Q&A on the call. It's so much more valuable if you are live in person at those events. If you can't, those are going to be in school. I will record every single meeting live and I will post it right in the role play calls section or the accelerator group calls section. So you don't have to worry about missing it. If 3 o'clock is a terrible time for you, you will still get almost as much benefit from those calls as being on them live. But it is really cool to come together as a community and be live and participate in events. The other communities that I'm part of, I do everything I can to be on all of their live events, and it just does something more. And that's all I've got today. I, again, am so happy and so grateful that you are here. You are going to be so happy and so grateful that you are here. There is so much content packed into these 26 weeks. It's 20 years of knowledge from me in technology sales leadership, in retail sales leadership, in big ticket sales leadership, where we sold 100, 200, $600,000 custom homes. It's so much. I took every nugget, every important piece that I've learned, and tried to jam it into 26 weeks. I also am working to make the first few weeks things that get your environment and your head in the right place to maximize the benefit of these. So, holy smokes. Strap yourself in, bring something to drink, bring something for notes, and I will see you on the first group call or talk to you next week. Have a fantastic week.